Right, just take a second and just listen. Can you hear that? Exactly, me neither, because today the kids have finally gone back to school after 6 weeks of having to deal with two beautiful, lovely, amazing kids fighting, arguing, complaining. Today, it's Freedom Day for parents. So, like any normal parent would do, when the kids are at school, what do? We go to a gym and we train some legs. So we haven't really been able to do like much traveling at all because obviously the kids are at home. We don't really have much childcare, so we've been pretty much stuck indoors for quite a long period of time. So we're going to go and train at Falcon Fitness in Frome today, one of our favourite gyms to train legs. So we're going to go in there, blast out a good leg session. Then I think after this we're going to go and treat ourselves to some nice food. We're just enjoying this freedom, and I deliberately have kept my diary clear all day until 4 o'clock, and I've got clients tonight, but tactical. So block the diary out so we can have some quality us time. But pre-workout's kicking in, so we're going to go in there now and train some legs. Right then, so I thought I would do a little voiceover and talk you through today's session because it's been quite a while. So for legs today, we started off with hamstrings. I always like to try and focus on hamstrings before moving into any quad movements, mainly just because energy levels at the end of a session. So I find that a lot of people that do hamstrings at the end of a session, they don't quite give them the full attention they need because you're always quite fatigued after doing the quad dominant movement. So I always prefer to start with hamstrings if I'm ever going to pair them together. So what we did today, as you saw, we start off with a lie-in leg curl. We just literally did 5 sets. We worked from 10 to 15 reps. We just kept going just to get nice and warm in the hamstrings, and we kind of did like 2 working sets at the end. So this movement here, which is the seated hamstring curl, this hoist machine is actually kind of cool. It's actually quite comfortable. The only thing I would say, if I was to be slightly negative, is that the foot pad is actually really, really hard. So it wasn't too bad for me, but it dug in the back of Lucy's heels quite a lot. But other than that, really cool machine. I quite like the fact that that knee support pad kind of adjusts, because sometimes it kind of feels like it's really wedged in your quads and it kind of cuts off the circulation to your lower body if you adjust that too tightly. So this is really good that that does actually adjust throughout the movement, because your quad will contract as you're kind of doing this movement as you get to the top of it. So it's quite nice that the pad allows for that adjustment in the quad size as you're coming up. So we actually did a rest pause on this one. So as you'll see, we aim for anywhere between 10 to 12 reps on that first rotation. And then we take a rest, kind of rest for about 10 to 12 breaths, go back in it again. And normally you're trying to hit about 50% of the reps that you did in the first time. So if you manage to do 12 reps, the next go you're going to try and hit kind of that 6 rep range, and then on the final one what you're trying to aim for is around anywhere between 2 to 4. If you've got a spotter, it's good to get a few force reps at the end, but as you can see, we kind of took this to absolute failure. So the hamstrings were absolutely fried after those 2 movements. So we didn't actually do any hip hinging movements for hamstrings. Normally I'll always do a shortening movement followed by a lengthening movement. However, because I'm still struggling a little bit with my lower back, I'm trying to avoid any hip hinge movements for the time being. So I always feel like this exercise is just the bread and butter of any leg workout. Like, I don't think I've seen a leg workout that hasn't involved leg extensions. For me, it's absolutely necessary to always start my quad movements with a leg extension, just because I need to get my knees nice and warm, because as I'm getting older, my knees are a little bit more vulnerable. So we did 4 to 5 sets on this. Again, we just kept doing 15 reps and working up the weight stack until we couldn't do it anymore. So this here was a primary compound movement. So again, just do leg press. I'm normally a squatter, but because of my lower back, I found that this was a little bit better to take the tension off my lower back. So this is the Cybex leg press machine. It's probably the best leg press machine I think I've ever used. I just really like the angle on it. This is actually called the squat press, and we worked quite heavy on this. Again, I'm not going for any kind of crazy PBs at the moment, solely because, you know, I'm kind of just still kind of getting my strength back up after taking a little bit of time of kind of backing off during the training. But we did 17 reps, that was pretty good. So this little beauty right here is a very underrated bit of kit and a very underrated exercise that you don't often see people doing, and it is the sissy squat. I used to do them on a Smith machine, but if a gym has got a proper sissy squat bench, I've actually got one myself in my gym. It is an absolute killer. I wouldn't recommend doing this as one of your first movements. I personally always like to do it at the end because you need to make sure your quads are nice and warm before going into this movement, because it does put so much pressure on the front of the quads. And as you can see, I'm leading with the hips and bringing the shoulders back to increase the amount of tension going through the quads. So we did 25 reps in total as a rest pause. So we did 15, rested 5, rested and got another 5. So this was just a nice little killer for the quads today. Right, so just back home now after an epic leg session. Now, the one thing I do love about Falcon Fitness is that every time we go in there, there's always like a couple of new pieces of kit to play with. So they had the new add and abductor, which I didn't record, but did a few sets on that to finish off. There's something about Live Fitness pin loaded kit that it just seems to be a lot better, a lot durable than a lot of the rest of the company. So big thumbs up for the new bits of kit. So we've just got back home now. I'm not gonna lie, the drive home was actually really difficult because it's probably like the first like proper leg session we've had kind of since going into this off season. But whilst we're on the topic of off season and bulking, this is probably the most bizarre post-workout meal you've ever seen. Check that out. We have got 2 sausage, bacon and hash brown baguettes. We are taking this bulking seriously. However, one question: would you go for tomato sauce or brown sauce on this? Personally, I'd go for brown sauce. However, because I got 2, I got 1 brown, 1 red. I always find that whenever I order food out, and I always only order 1 of an item, I always feel disappointed that I wish I ordered 2. So, as we're bulking, we've gone in for 2. So, because it is the off season and I am trying to push the food up, there's only so much chicken and rice and porridge oats and things like that that you can eat. So you kind of max out your calories. So I will have at least 2 or 3 cheat meals a week just to try and increase the amount of calories I'm taking. So this is a cheat meal for today. Post-workout, best time to have it. So I'm pretty excited about this, I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty big. I don't know if I can get it all in my mouth. That's what she said. Right, time for some gains. Right, so what have I got to do? So if my forehead, the top of my nose...
Yeah, so you have to measure it like this. Wait for
Yeah, well I've got a tape measure here.
Okay,
so if I've got a tape measure there...
Yeah.
Okay, so up to here.
Yeah.
So that is
you're not in the video.
That's 6 centimetres.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 6 centimetres. So then where? From the top of my nose to my mouth?
Yes.
There?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that the same?
Yeah.
And then my nose to the bottom of my mouth?
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit smaller. So does that mean I don't have a symmetrical face?
No.
I've never ever heard of that before.
Let's try me. You haven't heard of that?
No. So let's try with Finley. So if this is the same, okay. No, Finley hasn't got a symmetrical face either. No, what? That's not true. Nobody can be the same.
It is.
Can we do yours then? No, you haven't got a symmetrical face either. Personally, I don't believe you.
Yeah, guys, make sure you don't poop yourself.
Good advice, Finley.
Yeah, because you haven't wiped your bum for ages.
We're going to go to the park now.
Oh, shut up, Harriet.
Right, be nice to each other. Right, we've just pulled up to possibly the most random park
Garfi's coming
ever.
too.
Uncle Garth is coming too with the kids, so we're going to have a fun family day, but I'm not even sure if we're in the right location.
Picnic. Peace.
Right, Ellie, you're now famous on YouTube. What do you want to say?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Just say, hey guys, make sure you subscribe to Uncle JJ's YouTube channel.
Hi.
You got to look at the camera.
Hi.
Say, please subscribe to Uncle JJ's YouTube channel.
Please subscribe to JJ.
I don't think I realised how much I caught the sun yesterday, so I got myself a little dodgy vest tan on the go. Monster. Like, energy drink every single day. Oh, you're so unhealthy. Oh. Whatever. And yes, this isn't sugar free. This has got a shit ton of sugar in it as well. However, pre-workout, I'm going to go train in a minute, so it's all good. But this one, Mango Loco, definitely has to be my favourite tasting Monster. When it comes to the sugared variety, White Monster. When it comes to the sugar-free variety. So, busy day. Got my client Ryan competing today. So I've just been checking in with him. He's looking good. It's his first show. We've only just started working together 12 weeks ago. But his transformation that he has achieved in 12 weeks is insane. And we're going to go again in 2 weeks. Then we're going to rebound off season, then compete again next year. So, busy day. Go get a quick workout in now. So I'm going to end today's video here, guys. Make sure you give the video a big fat thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, what you're playing at, subscribe. And until next time, peace.